Good morning. It's Tom Padula from TomPadulaTV on YouTube and Insegna Booksellers. Now, I'm starting a little bit late. I just got involved with reading some notes and I'm 5 minutes late. But I'll make up for it. And so this is the first 5 minutes of the program, and it is program number 77, and it's occurring on Sunday, the 21st of May, 2023. Another interesting reflection, or going over what has gone on in Purgatorio, just both in English and Italian, a little summary from a couple of the books. And I will also make some comments myself as we go along. And then, as usual, we got to Amica Poesia, and this time will be Foglie Autunnali. Foglie Autunnali. I've just looked at them. And what else do we have? And then we got, of course, the songs. We got some songs from Dora and Rena. An interesting one today because I was there on Thursday and we went over a few of the songs, and a couple of them we had difficulties in actually getting right. So I ended up reading the lyrics, because the exercise that I go through with you is an educational one. It's not to entertain so much as to get a bit of guidance of what to do when learning a language and learning Italian specifically. So it fits in very well with this Dante Alighieri, Purgatorio, and not just Purgatorio, but also in Inferno I did the same thing. So I introduced my poetry and also, of course, the songs that we can learn and enjoy as we go along. So that's really the basic thing. I've only got another one or two. It might be another lesson after this. This is lesson 77. I'll go to 78. Maybe I'll even do 79, but I'm not sure. But this program number 77 is the second last. And it's the fifth comment on Purgatorio by me. And of course, with Inferno, I did 5. This one's here, I might do a little bit more, but we'll come back to that. Now, what I will do now is actually want to reflect on the fact, where does this work lead me? Well, so far, it's like a journey. It's led me to now, and I am now planning how to move forward. Now, to move forward with all this is to encourage my viewers, people who follow me on Facebook, but we also have, the other TomPadula.blogspot.com, on which these get directly, and I believe there are other platforms that we could technically access, but I haven't. But what I have done is put these particular podcasts on Insegna.com in the blog section, and also on YouTube. It takes a little while to get there, but we do get there. And so far, I think these podcasts can be quite useful to start your own journey on the topics that I present. So reading of Dante Alighieri for me means that it should really be accessed by people in the third age, because they've got the experience to really appreciate Dante's wisdom when it comes to how to live a good Christian life. but not necessarily the one from the church, the way people behave sometimes within the institution. It's more the idealistic one of following Christ's example. And what an example it is to suffer to such an extent for the sake of humanity. Whether you believe it or not, you want to take it to the next level, it's up to you. But really, that sacrifice there is quite huge, to suffer to such an extent and then to redeem, the act of redemption. I think that's the great step forward in belief. The Holy Spirit. The other day, well, when was it? 2 days ago, there was my granddaughter Sophie had her cresima, and that's made her really. He gave her the entrance to the full offerings of the church. A good thing, and this happens in other religions as well, in other institutions, but really we all follow the path to peace by respecting each other and by avoiding wars. That's not always the case, so that's what used to happen in Dante's time too. So on that note, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to start with the 22nd canto, and I'm going to read you the following. In italiano first. Mentre salgono il sesto girone, Stagio narra Virgilio per quai peccati sia dimorato sia a lungo in purgatorio, e com'ei venisse a conoscere e tenere la fede cristiana. Di poi Virgilio l'informa di molti illustri personaggi che sono nel limbo. Giunti i poeti sul cerchio e fatti alcuni passi a destra, trovano un albero con pomi odorosi, dentro al quale muovono voci a lodare la virtù della temperanza. Okay, so let's see what this other book says about Canto 22. The argument is Dante, Virgil, and Statius mount on the sixth cornice, they call it in English, where the sin of gluttony is cleansed, the two Latin poets discoursing by the way. Turning to the right, they find a tree hung with sweet-smelling fruit and watered by a shower that issues from the rock. Voices are heard to proceed from among the leaves, recording examples of temperance. Okay, what is temperance? Temperance, you can look it up, but things like, I think, limiting, balancing your drinking or whatever can be pleasant in a way, but that if you overdo it, then if you overdo this, then you've got a bit of a problem. Okay, so that's Canto 22. Now we go to Canto 23. Canto 23 of Purgatorio. Here we go. Welcome to Leonardo Santamartino. That's wonderful that you are watching, and I did compliment you on your presentation of Basilicata region last night at the dinner dance. So I'm very pleased that you're on. Ok, canto 23. La fame e la sete, fatte più acute dalla presenza di alberi carichi di frutta e di acque zampillanti, purificando nel sesto cerchio i golosi, dei quali si descrive la spaventosa magrezza. Dante riconosce forese dei Donati che si loda della vedova sua e riprende acremente l'inverocondia delle donne fiorentine. Mamma mia, describing this in old Italian is a real challenge. So this one here relates, this canto here relates to the excess, that in life, the excesses of our lives, and including. But there are always some people who can, manage a balance. And Forese de Donati's wife is one of those people in Florence. So because she was, she had met Dante, and she was very nice to him. And of course, Forese de Donati, the husband who's now in Purgatorio, sort of thanks him in a way, but he says, I want you to talk to my wife, to pray for me even more. Canto 23. Let's have a look what we have in English here. Oh, they are overtaken by the spirit of Forese, who had been a friend of our poets on earth, and who now inveighs bitterly against the modest dress of their countrywomen at Florence. There you are. Unbelievable. Used to happen then, and it happens now. Okay. 24. We're going to go up to 27. 24 we got here. I might even show you some of the pictures later. Ora, Forese mostra a Dante anime di golosi. Tra gli altri il poeta Buonaggiunta da Lucca, che pronunzia al fiorentino un nuovo amore e loda l'affetto e lo stile delle sue canzoni. Predetta poi oscuramente la morte di Corso suo fratello. Forese si parte. I poeti, continuando il loro cammino, odono presso un albero esempi a terrore dei golosi, e poi incontrano l'angelo e il varco al settimo ed ultimo cerchio, ove si purga il peccato della carne. Wow. Well, let's have a look in English. Forese points out several others by name who are here like himself, purifying themselves from the vice of gluttony. And amongst the rest, Buonaggiunta of Lucca, with whom our poet converses. Forese then predicts the violent end of Dante's political enemy, Corso Donati, and when he has acquitted them, the poet, in company with Statius and Virgil, arrives at another tree from whence issues voices that record ancient examples of gluttony and the punishments, of course. Then proceeding forwards, they are directed by an angel which way to ascend to the next cornice of the mountain. And then we'll see, last is the last one. So the 7 cardinal sins that are purified in Purgatorio, and also offering the contrapasso, the punishment. You have to read Purgatorio. You have to. I think it's a wonderful. I thought the Inferno was the one which would have been more interesting, but Purgatorio is even more interesting than the Inferno, really. Because there you just, you do the sin, you get punished. Here, you do the sin and you get forgiven. Not bad, but you have to be punished as well. The church, Dante, there was a writer from the 14th century, the 1300s, and there the church dominated politically. And, the philosophies, the religious philosophies of the times were quite stringent. But after that excess, we get the Renaissance, which is not too bad. Okay, so things became better after that. Canto 25. Per la stretta via che dal sesto cerchio conduce al settimo ed ultimo, chiede Dante al suo maestro come esser possa che altri dimaghi là dove non è duopo di nutrimento. Virgilio gli risponde in parte commette la risposta a Stazio, che cortesemente dimostra la generazione del feto fino all'infusione dell'anima ragionevole e la congiunzione di lei nella vegetativa e sensitiva e il suo modo d'essere dopo la morte, giunti al girone lo trovano tutto ingombro di fiamme, eccetto l'orlo esterno, e vedono tra quelle trascorrere spiriti cantando un inno e gridando esempi famosi di castità. Welcome to Antonio Danzi. Montemorese, Leonardo Santamartino and Antonio Danzi. Not too bad. Okay, this particular canto 25th is about people commit the sin of gluttony. And here the punishments are given as usual. So if you go back to my reading of Canto 25, then you'll get a bit more. But here this is just, I wanted to give something, like a summary of what happened. And in the last few weeks, I've discovered that there are some books that actually, even for children, that you can read about La Divina Commedia, and I'm trying to get some of them in, but I'm not sure when I'll be able to do that. But you can look for them yourselves. The idea is that you not only enrich your life with the readings of the literary figures of Italy, but also that you practice the language to such an extent that you maintain it. As an example to the next generation, but you can't will it to them. Non ci puoi fare il testamento della lingua. Every person has to learn themselves. It's important. So that was Canto 25. Let's have a look what in English we've got. Virgil and Statius resolve some doubts that have arisen in the minds of Dante from what he had just seen. They all arrive on the seventh and last cornice, where the sin of incontinence is purged in fire, and the spirits of those suffering therein are heard to record illustrious instances of chastity. They were talking about the lust. Lust. Don't we love it? Never mind. I'm just getting ready for 26. Okay, now. So there are the 7 cardinal sins. We're coming to the last one now, and we'll see what happens. Quei che imbestialirono nelle libidini purgano il sozzo fuoco girando tra le fiamme il monte in 2 schiere contrarie. Parla Dante con Guido Guinizelli, che gli addita Arnaldo Daniello, poeta provenzale, il quale pregato si manifesta. So here we got to the literary side of Dante, where he meets Guinizelli. It was a writer, and also this Arnaldo Daniello. We're talking about the Provenzale, the way literature, Italian literature developed. It came from the French, from the Provençal rimatori, I poeti provenzali from southern France. And then there's more to it, and I'll be coming back to it. I don't want to dwell on it. I just wanted to do the actual, just point out what the summaries are of the canti. Okay, so that was Canto 26. Okay, so let's have a look what they have to say here in English. The spirit wonder at seeing the shadows cast by the body of Dante on the flames as he passes it. Dante has got a shadow. Virgilio doesn't have one because he's a spirit. Yet Dante makes them all look as if they've got a human body. I don't know how he got away with that, but he did. It's a good one. This moves one of them to address him. It proves to be Guido Guinizelli, the Italian poet, who points out to him the spirit of Arnold Daniel de Provençal, with whom he also speaks. Because Dante also began a particular type of literature which was more advanced than the previous ones. So, he gets a lot of credit for that as well in the history of Italian literature. So that's good. Now we come to Canto 27, which is the last one for today for me, and then next week I'll do the rest of them, and I'll see whether I will need one more lesson after that. Otherwise, we'll finish off there. Canto 27. Ok. Per giungere alla scala che dal settimo girone mette alla sommità del monte, Dante è costretto a attraversare le fiamme. Poco dopo che hanno cominciato a salire, sopravviene la notte. Si fermano e Dante s'addorme. Nel sonno ha una visione. Destosi all'alba, si rimette in via e arriva al paradiso terrestre. So after he's been purged, he goes to Paradiso Terrestre. It's not the God's Paradiso. It's the one here that where Adam and Eve went, where they were free of sin, etc., until Eve, gave Adam some trouble by eating a forbidden apple. So there you are. Okay, let's have a look at the Canto 27. The English one has got a great summary. An angel sends them forward through the fire to the last ascent, which leads to the terrestrial paradise, situated on the summit of the mountain. They have not proceeded many steps on their way upward when the fall of night hinders them from going further. The fall of the night is l'arrivo della notte, when night falls. And they're not allowed to go up. They can only go up further during daylight. That's the law in Purgatorio. And our poet, who has lain down with Virgil and Statius to rest, beholds in a dream two females, figuring the active and contemplative life. With the return of morning, they reach the height, and here Virgil gives Dante full liberty to use his own pleasure and judgment in the choice of his way, till he shall meet with Beatrice. So, really, this is the last time that Dante, once they reach Paradiso Terrestre, Virgilio's job really, he doesn't go away straight away, but he hangs around, but he doesn't say anything else. He says, "Now you've done your penitence, Dante. You've gone through this area here. In this particular area, I cannot guide you anymore. You are now your own man, until you meet Beatrice, who will accompany you later." And before Beatrice, he meets another woman. One is called the contemplative life. One is he meets two. In his dream, Dante dreams during the night, and he says he dreams of two women, and one will come before Beatrice. Okay, so Virgil gives Dante full liberty and judgment and choice of his way till he shall meet with Beatrice. So that is it for this week from me. In terms of Dante, we've gone up to Canto 27. Next week I'll do Canti 28 to 33, and then I'll check whether I'll need one more. But now stay put, because as I said, my hour of Dante also contains my own poetry, and today's a nice one. The nice one is called Foglie Autunnali, Autumn Leaves. Beautiful. And I'll read you the Italian first. Foglie Autunnali. Robbie John is watching as well. Well, good morning. Welcome. Foglie autunnali. I've just read the Dante's summary up to Canto 27. I did 7 of them today, and we're going now to my poetry, and then the singing part, in which there are some mistakes, but they're beautiful songs that you can, and good singers and songwriters. Okay, so stay for the full hour and you'll enjoy it. Well, if you can't, then you can come back to it later. Foglie autunnali. Nell'aria autunnale guardo le foglie cadere leggere, leggere, sull'erba già bagnata di gocce dal cielo. Si vedono in gruppo fruscianti sui prati estesi di questa città. Si rincorrono, si rialzano, si accarezzano a vicenda e poi stanche si accucciano attorno al tronco di un olmo. E lì le foglie, sospinte dal vento, cercano invano di ritornare in su per attaccarsi a quei rami, una volta ancora lassù. Lo stridere del tempo che passa chiama anche le giovani foglie che presto diventano smunte, incenerite, giallastre, già vecchie e indirizzite. I passanti le schiacciano indiscriminatamente, con suole diverse, mentre volgono gli occhi in alto per guardare le foglie rimaste sui rami irti contro il cielo grigio. Ed è verso il cielo che punto le mie pupille, il mio sguardo e volo. Mentre le foglie autunnali cadono, baciando gli atomi dell'aria, come un artista che sfiora le mani su labbra che mormorano grazie al pubblico in segno d'amore. E poi cadono d'un tratto e si fermano sui prati pieni di lacrime per un momento. Il vento le rapisce d'un colpo e le porta in un folle cammino per strade ignote nel grigio mattino. Ancora le vedo tutte ingiallite nei miei sogni, in un coro strepitoso, incessante, che si alza dal mio cuore di poeta in un crescendo misterioso. Ricordo i dolci sorrisi degli amanti sotto gli alberi, gli uccelli liberi nell'aria e quell'ultimo vano sogno di foglie rapite dall'autunno. And this is the autumn here in Melbourne. What a beautiful... I'll read you the English part, so if you didn't understand any of that, or some of it, only. Here we go. Autumn leaves. In the autumn air, I see the leaves fall lightly on the grass already wet with drops from the sky. You can see them in groups, rustling over the extended meadows of the city. They get up, chase, caress one another, and then, tired, they gather around the trunk of a defoliating elm tree. And there the leaves, pushed by the wind, try in vain to return upwards, to rejoice the branches up there again. The jarring of time gathers even the young leaves, which soon pale, become ashen, like leaves benumbed by the cold. The passers-by crush them indiscriminately, with different souls, whilst looking upwards into the sky at the bare rigid branches. And it is into the sky that I direct my pupils, my eyes, and fly, whilst the autumn leaves fall, kissing the atoms of the air, like an artist who touches his hands to his lips, murmuring thanks to the public as a sign of love. And then the remaining leaves fall suddenly and stop over the meadows full of tears. But the wind gathers them up quickly and takes them in a crazy walk in unknown streets in the grey morning. And it is in a dream that I see them all, in a chorus faded in a continuous uproar that rises from my poet's heart in a mysterious crescendo. I remember the sweet smiles of lovers under the trees, the free-flying birds in the air, and that lost in vain dream of leaves ravished by autumn. Because after autumn, the deciduous trees all lose their leaves, up to the last one. But I've noticed in some trees, they tend to remain stuck to the branch. Now, maybe that's room for another poem later on. Okay, So that's it for this week, for my poetry. Now we got to the singing, and there's quite it's quite a journey, this one here. I'm going to give it a full half an hour because there are some mistakes, when we're singing, and then we try to make it up, and we do all sorts of things. It's good. Here we go. Come on, Tom. I tell you what, I have the computer in front of me, and then every time that I come back, I'm never sure whether, we're ready or not. Oh, no, I think it's here. They're here. Yes. Here we are. Amazing. Amazing. Here we go. Okay. Now, I have here, last Thursday, I went to Dora's place, and we did the last part of Choral Improviso, number 10. There are 12 songs in each one of the Choral Improviso, and these songs are designed to allow Italian teachers, to encourage Italian teachers, they always have done it anyway, to use poetry and songs even more in their own classrooms. It's good content, and the Italian songs from the 1950 to 2000, I better have a drink, 2000 are just wonderful. The lyrics are amazing. And the one from the 1960s especially, and early 70s, brilliant. So let's have a look. Here we go, and enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy this, and I'll make some comments when the mistakes appear. Okay, here we go. Yes? Okay. Right, this is Rena and Dora Marquez. Okay, so we go now to the next bit. There we are. Robbie, you could use this with your climate, with your... I encourage you to go back and do what you were doing before. Even though you're busy, you're a dad. Salute, un bacione a Dominic. Fantastic. Okay. Here we go. Here we are, another afternoon here at the Marchese residence. And today we're going to have another 6 songs, and this time there'll be, the songs reflect, well, the history of Italian songs from the beginning almost, because this is the 60s and early 70s. So here we go, we're going to go in Ginocchio da Te with Morandi, Gianni Morandi, and we'll try to do our best, of course. And that's it for today. Let's go. Okay, now I'll go to the next one, to the song, but we start well and then we stuff it up a bit. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, In Ginocchio da Te. The song is In Ginocchio da Te, okay. Io voglio per me le tue carezze, sì, io t'amo più della mia vita, ritornerò in ginocchio da te, l'altra non è niente per me. Ora lo so, ho sbagliato con te, ritornerò in ginocchio da te e bacerò le tue mani, amore, negli occhi tuoi che hanno pianto per me. Io cercherò il perdono da te. e bacerò le tue mani, amor. Io voglio per me le tue carezze. Sì, io ti amo più della mia vita. Io cercherò il perdono da te e bacerò le tue mani, amor. Ritornerò in ginocchio da te. L'altra non è niente per me. Ora lo so, ho sbagliato con te. Ritornerò in ginocchio da te. Sì, io t'amo più della mia vita. Io voglio per me le tue carezze. Oh sì, io t'amo più della mia vita. Now, I played that on purpose so that you can see the mistake. Now, then we tried it again, and it didn't sort of work. And then I decided, yeah, I'm going to read it. So here we go, the reading part of the song. Where this is it here. We've tried this song in Ginocchio da Te a number of times, and obviously what's happening here is that Gianni Morandi, when he sang it, had a very strong, beautiful voice, and we can't come up with it. But I love the lyrics of this song, and I'm just going to give you the lyrics. Here we go. In ginocchio da te. Io voglio per me le tue carezze. Sì, io t'amo più della mia vita. Ritornerò in ginocchio da te. L'altra non è niente per me. Ora lo so, ho sbagliato con te. Ritornerò in ginocchio da te e bacerò le tue mani, amore, negli occhi tuoi che hanno pianto per me. Io cercherò il perdono da te e bacerò le tue mani, amore. Io voglio per me le tue carezze. Sì, io t'amo più della mia vita. Io cercherò il perdono da te e bacerò le tue mani, amore. Ritornerò in ginocchio da te. L'altra non è niente per me. Ora lo so, ho sbagliato con te. Ritornerò in ginocchio da te. Sì, io t'amo più della mia vita. Io voglio per me le tue carezze. Oh sì, io t'amo più della mia vita. Now we got to the next one. The next one is the next song. And yes, no, maybe. Here we are. This song here, L'Immensità, by Dante, made famous by him in 1967 at the Festival of Sanremo Song Festival in Italy, received quite a lot of good comments in terms of the novelty of it. It was a new way of expressing the song, yeah, musically and also singing-wise. So, and then there was Paoli, Turgino Paoli, a few other people. But this one here, L'Immensità by Don Beckin, which was also sung by other singers as well. We're going to do it today. Rena knows it, and let's see how we go. Okay, so let's see how we go. Here we go. And ora L'Immensità. Let's go.
Io sono sicuro che per ogni goccia che cadrà un nuovo fiore nascerà e su quel fiore una farfalla volerà. Io sono sicuro che questa grande qualcuno pensa un po' a me, non mi scorderà, sì, lo so, tutta la vita sempre solo non sarò, un giorno troverò un po' d'amore anche per me, se che sono novità, nell'immensità, io lo so, tutta vita sempre solo non sarò, e un giorno io saprò di essere un pensiero nella grande immensità del suo cielo.
Well, Immensità. It's a famous song, and let's see if we did it again. I think. Here we go. We weren't happy.
Allora, l'immensità.
We weren't happy with that one. We did it again. You decide which one is better.
Per ogni goccia che cadrà un nuovo fiore nascerà, e su quel fiore una farfalla volerà. Io sono sicuro che in questa grande immensità qualcuno pensa un po' a me, non mi scorderà. Di essere un piccolo pensiero nella grande immensità del suo cielo.
I think the second one came, was okay, was better than the other one. Now, these are some of the pictures that I took there. Angela Marchese loved this, his art. Look at that. Fantastic stuff. Beautiful, beautiful. And then we go on a bit more. Here we go. The next song.
This is another song by Dante. It's called Canzone, and I think it's a 1968 song. Again, very important for the time, and we're going to try it very soon, right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Okay, let's go. There we are.
Canzone, Dora Reno.
Nel più bel sogno ci sei solamente tu, sei come un'ombra che non tornerà mai più. Tristi sono le rondini nel cielo, mentre vanno verso il mare, è la fine di un amore. Io sogno di te, non parlerò d'amore, non ne parlerò mai più. Quando siamo alla fine di un amore, soffrirà soltanto un cuore, perché l'altro se ne andrà. Ora che sto pensando ai miei domani, sono bagnate le mie mani, sono lacrime d'amore. Nel più bel sogno ci sei solamente tu, sei come un'ombra che non tornerà mai più. Questa canzone vola per per il cielo, le sue note nel mio cuore, sta segnando il mio dolore. Questa canzone vola per il cielo, le sue note nel mio cuore, sta segnando il mio dolore. Alla fine di un amore, alla fine di un amore.
Now, if we look at those three, what we've done so far, you get the songs. I've gone ahead now. We get the songs that were played decades ago, and this can be used, of course, in classes, and I do. So that's it. The next one, these were the first three songs. One of them we didn't succeed all that well, but this number two, Immensità and Canzone, were reasonable. Okay, so the next one now will be the next three songs. I think something happens as well here, but I'm not sure. We'll have to check it out as we move along. Here we go.
This next song is another Gianni Morandi song, and Dora, obviously at the time of Gianni Morandi singing this in 1964, wasn't there, was it? And so it's a song that Rita and I are going to try, and let's see how we go, okay? And Dora will come in if she wants to, otherwise we'll just try it. Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Okay.
Rina, non son degno di te. Okay. Non son degno di te, non ti merito più, ma al mondo non esiste nessuno che non ha sbagliato una volta, e va bene così, me ne vado da te. Ma quando la sera tu resterai sola, ricorda qualcuno che amava te. Sui monti di pietra può nascere un fiore, in me questa sera è nato l'amore per te. E va bene così, me ne vado da te. Ma al mondo non esiste nessuno che non ha sbagliato una volta, amor. Sui monti di pietra può nascere un fiore, in me questa sera è nato l'amore per te. Non sono degno di te, non ti merito più, ma quando la sera tu resterai sola, ricorda qualcuno che amava te. Amore, amor, amore, amor. Well, we tried. Didn't we try? Well, when you tried Gianni Morandi, perdonaci, però we tried. Okay, we tried. Ci abbiamo provato.
We tried. That's what you can do. We can all try. Don't worry about the mistakes. Just do them. Okay, so the next one, I think, comes out all right.
Another song, this time from 1964, the new style of singing with Gino Paoli, Sapore di Sale, which has been a real hit for a long time, many decades, and I think today we're going to enjoy doing it.
Yeah, we're going to
it's not in Dora's repertoire, of course, but we'll try. Okay, let's try.
This one came out all right, I think. Here we go.
Rina, Dora, Sapore di Sale. Come on, Rina.
Sapore di sale, sapore di mare, che hai sulla pelle, che hai sulle labbra. dall'acqua e ti viene a sdraiare vicino a me, vicino a me. Sapore di sale, sapore di mare, un gusto amaro di cose perdute, di cose lasciate lontano da noi, dove il mondo è diverso, diverso da qui. Quel tempo e quei giorni che passano pigri e lasciano in bocca il gusto del sale. Ti butti nell'acqua e mi lascia guardarti e rimango da solo nella sabbia e nel sole. Poi torni vicino e ti lasci cadere così nella sabbia e nelle mie braccia, e mentre ti bacio sapore di sale, sapore di sale, sapore di te. Quel tempo è dei giorni che passano pigri e lasciano in bocca il gusto del sale. Ti butti nell'acqua e mi lascia guardare e rimango da solo nella sabbia del sole. Poi torni vicino e ti lasci cadere così nella sabbia e nelle mie braccia, e mentre ti bacio sapore di sale, sapore di mare, sapore di te.
Now that one there came out okay, but you can always improve as you move along. With these songs here, what can be done is that you can pick out the words from the lyrics and introduce them to the students. And not only that, you can also point out, say, or choose the adjectives, and then pick out the verbs and which tense are they, and you build up a word bank that way. And eventually, you read the song over and over again. You listen to the original singers. You can sing them along as well. It's like reading, or you can read them aloud. That's how Italian can be learned. You don't need other Italians in order to learn it. You just got to have a commitment to the language. And as you move along, there's a big body of songs that are available. But one has to remember too that Italian is a constructed language in order to unify the nation. The real languages are the local languages like il siciliano, il calabrese, il napoletano, il lucano, il veneto, il piemontese, il milanese, il romano, il toscano. So the 20 regions of Italy, have different inflections. The language is still the same. The language is still the same. Welcome to Angela Imola. The language is the same as, close to Italian, but, well, for example, Neapolitan, Veneto, and Milanese, they're quite different, and the Siciliano too. But don't be afraid to sing those songs there because it's all part of Italian culture. Italian culture is a culture of the regions of Italy. And the regions of Italy offer much variety and diversity in the food, in the way they approach, life in general. But there's a lot there that meets the eye. And if you live in Australia and you've gone to school here, you're not expected to know all this. And that's the reason why I've made it my mission now to actually go out into the public arena and try to say this is the way to do it. And I'm doing it online, you know. Of course, there's going to be lots and lots of criticism, and some people will say, good on you, you know, well done, but some people say, oh, horrible. Especially the musicians. I concur. I mean, I agree with you, but we're doing it. You try to do it. I mean, you do a song now and then. When we sing here, we don't practice. We go straight into the song. Arena and I now, almost in unison. Very, you know, and Dora too, doing very well with the mandolin, because she doesn't practice. She actually plays it there and then. And this week, the two singers who came to see me, Ross Talarico, who I showed you last week, and Joe Mandica too, there'll be more people coming over because I think they're starting to understand, you know, the worth of what I'm doing in order to favour the learning and teaching of Italian in this country, in Australia and worldwide outside of Italy. So there you are. Okay. And of course, it's in English for me. And my English is a second language to me. When I started, I didn't know anything at all. I learned the numbers on the ship when I came to Australia. Age 15. There you are. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Here we go.
This last song for today is Ma che freddo fa, made famous by Nada, and I saw this song performed by Nada and a whole group of musicians in front of, I would say, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people. I think it was in Spain, I'm not sure, but I was always impressed by this particular song because when I've gone dancing, it's always been very popular today in Melbourne. Okay, so Ma che freddo fa, very soon.
Ok, fa freddo qua pure, veramente, qui a Melbourne. Ok, here we go. Ma che freddo fa.
Ma che freddo fa, Rino. Non ce la fa più, la notte adesso scende come su una neve, ma che freddo fa, ma che freddo fa, basterebbe una carezza per un cuore di ragazza, forse allora sì che l'amerai, forse la vita senza l'amore è solo un albero che foglie non ha più e salza un vento freddo come le foglie le speranze butta giù, ma questa vita cos'è se manchi tu? Sento una farfalla che sui cuori non vola più, che non vola più, che non vola più. Mi sono bruciato al fuoco del tuo grande amore, mi stai scendo già, ma che freddo fa, ma che freddo fa. Tu ragazzo mai delusa, hai rubato dal mio viso quel sorriso che non tornerà. E che la vita senza l'amore è solo un albero che foglie non ha più, senza un vento freddo come le foglie le speranze butta giù, ma questa vita cos'è se mangi tu? Non mi ami più, che freddo fa, Cos'è la vita se manchi tu? Non mi ami più, che freddo fa.
I think that's it. I'll just check it because it's also the end of. Yes, that's done. Okay, so those were the 6 songs for today. You can see there's some mistakes there. You know, it's all part of the learning process, and we are fortunate to have the technology now to be able to listen to ourselves. Oh, is there any more? No, there isn't. I thought there was more, but there isn't. Okay, so that's it for this week. It's 12:29, but I've got a few more minutes. I want to talk about a number of things. In the song culture, I'm noticing when I go dancing now that more people are actually singing the words when the band is playing them, the duo. Basically, most people have duo now. It's a singer and, I don't know, everyone's got their own repertoire, but there are some songs that go across the board. A lot of people play them in different ways too. And it's wonderful to see. And I love the fact that some people are singing them. And a couple of people that I know that are learning Italian and are learning the songs. But to be frank with you, I also use songs for the teaching of French and for the learning of Spanish myself. So I practice what I preach here in terms of the songs. And the one that really is a challenge is when I sing, say, a Neapolitan song or a Sicilian song. In other words, in the local language. And local languages for Italy, they enrich the culture. One can't say, Napoletano, non conta. No, of course, Neapolitan, Sicilian, the dialects, what they call the dialects. I don't call them dialects anymore because I feel that when you use the word dialect for any language, they are local languages. They're spoken in the family. They're spoken in the community. So in other words, you cannot deny their presence within our groups of people. Now, being in Australia, we want to also improve the English that we speak. So without a good understanding of grammar, la grammatica is important. La pratica batte la grammatica, ma senza la grammatica non puoi imparare o migliorare la lingua che vuoi imparare o che usi. Even English, you can improve that. And the 4 language skills are listen, then read, write sentences and write little paragraphs, and then you start speaking. When the brain is ready, it'll give you the right result. And that's what happens to singers. They practice one song for 6 months, and then eventually they know it off by heart. They are backed up by musicians, not in a jam situation, but sometimes on stage in front of a big public. So there's pressure to perform. Wonderful. As against, someone who just wants to feel the joy of singing for themselves. So when you make a mistake, you don't get particular areas of the song right, well, keep on practicing, and you'll practice the Italian there as well. Okay, so enough of my, what I've said so far. I hope that you're all doing well. It's winter here now. We can start feeling the cold in Melbourne, and we look forward to, a couple of months where the cold weather visits us and we'll be rugged up we're fortunate if we have heating in the home, and yep. So on this note, I'd like to thank all of those people who've come on. Don't forget, in the future, you will need to access my Facebook page every day or a couple of days, and you can listen to the latest from me, Tom Padula, of TomPadulaTV on YouTube, and Insegna Booksellers. And the stress on book selling, I'm trying to sell a few books, so if you want to encourage me with my work, come and pick up some books and give them away. You know, you pay, of course. I'll give you some for free too. It depends on how much, people buy. One thing, I don't discount the books, but the price, whatever the price is, it's there. But then, of course, you can enjoy all the work that I do online and also get something for free as well. So, pays for the petrol. Okay, on that note, ciao.